what is it we're doing, Lee?
Oh, well, we're gonna ride the Great Divide mountain bike ride.
And what is the Great Divide mountain bike ride or trail?
Well, it was established by the Cycling Association, Adventure Cycling Association, and it's a route that goes from Banff, Alberta, Canada, and it travels all the way down to Antelope Wells, New Mexico. It's approximately 2,700 miles and has somewhere near 200,000 feet of climbing. It goes along the Continental Divide, and I think perhaps we crossed it something like 31 times along the route.
Wow. But we're not going to be doing the traditional Banff to New Mexico route. We decided to start in New Mexico and go to Banff.
That's correct. We'll be riding the route northbound instead of the traditional southbound route.
And our reasons for doing that were, well, we don't like hike a bike through the snow in Canada in June, and your window of time off was June and July.
Correct. We have 60 days, approximately 60 days to complete the route.
Yeah, so that's really what instigated my retirement from my healthcare job, because Lee got this 2-month window off to do this thing we've been talking about for many years. I think it was his idea.
I think it was your idea, because you sent me the video of Leo Wilcox getting the fastest known time on the Great Divide route. Prior to that, I'd never even heard of it or didn't know it existed. So I think you instigated us riding the route.
But it's really happening because you were able to get the time off. So here we go. We're starting in June. We're going to start in Columbus, New Mexico, just because it's near Antelope Wells. But logistically, it's a little easier for getting us to the start, dropping off Lee, and my friend Ron, who I worked with at Providence, is going to be joining us. They're going to rent a car and drive from, well, his house in
Portland.
Near Portland. And they're going to be driving the rental car to El Paso, Texas. And then we'll shuttle back out in Columbus, stay in Columbus a day, get our bikes all ready, and then John, my husband, will be providing us with some intermittent van support. So he'll shuttle us to the start and we'll get started, looks like probably on May 31st.
I can't wait. I'm looking forward to this. And for those of you that don't know me, my name is Lee.
Oh yeah.
I'm gonna turn 55 in June on the route, and I am currently an electrician, and I'm still working. I have about 10 more years probably in the career field before I can retire. But I am grateful that I got the 2 months off to do this trip with my sister Lesie.
Yeah, and I'm Leslie Hopper. I am currently 58 and will be also my birthday's also in June, so I'll be turning 59 on the route in June. 59 years young. Woo.
I'm thinking we should celebrate in Pie Town for our birthdays.
I think so. Pie Town is a notorious town along the route. It's usually toward the end of the entire route for those going southbound, but since we're going northbound, it will come a little bit earlier for us. Anyway, the town is actually named after pies, or the pies they make, so we're looking forward to having some birthday pies in Pie Town.
Yeah, that should hit just about right.
Yeah. So, why are we doing this? We figured out I inspired you by sending you Lael's, I think it was a video of her doing the fastest time on the route.
Right.
But why?
Well, then you mentioned that if we were going to do the route, we probably should do it pretty soon. So last year I just said, okay, we're doing the route. I went to work and got the time off, and we started planning, and here we are, just a few weeks away from the start, so it's going to happen.
Yeah, and when I told Lee, like, we better do it soon, that was really because, I'm not getting younger, although I still feel young most of the time. But I thought, you know, if we wait 5 more years, that window might close. And who knows, it might have already closed, but we're going to give it a go. But anyway, when Lee said that, I thought there was probably 2% chance it would actually happen. So when he texted me and said he got the 2 months off, I nearly pooped my pants. And I was like, oh damn. I've been thinking about retiring from my healthcare job for quite some time, but I'm not sure I would have actually done it yet, except for this trip we have planned. Figured it's kind of a once in a lifetime where the cards all come together and you can attempt something like this. So
yeah, I've never attempted anything of this magnitude. I've always been a curious individual, kind of have an insatiable curiosity, and I just want to see how far along the route I can make it. I'm looking forward to the people, the characters that we meet along the way. I totally love snacks, so it's a great excuse to eat a lot of snacks every day without gaining too much weight.
Rice Krispie treats.
Oh yeah, those are the best.
And watermelon.
And then I've also, always contemplated what it might have been like to be like a Native American and having only lived on the land. And I think in our modern world, this is about as close to something like that as I could get. Is just riding a bike and camping outdoors. And also have an adventurous spirit. I think if I had grown up in the 1800s, I probably would have jumped on a wagon and came out on the Oregon Trail. So this feels kind of like my Oregon Trail in the modern world. What about you?
Well, the real reason is because you're doing it. And for Lee and I have been riding bikes together for over
2011.
Yeah, since 2011. We started riding bikes. We did some amateur racing. I think there was a time of like 5 years that every weekend, all seasons of the year, we were like meeting up and going for rides or going to some kind of race or challenge.
We raced all over. Northern California, we did a race at Humboldt. And then we went all the way into Washington to Lake Chelan.
Yep. And
did the Echo race up there. So we raced all over Oregon, Washington, and part of California. It was the best of times. I love it.
It was good memories. And then kind of later, a few years ago, I started doing longer races. So I signed up for the High Cascade 100 and then somehow talked Lee into doing it too. And then, yeah, we did that and I loved it. I think he hated it.
Yeah, it was 100 miles was kind of a stretch for me, but I made it through.
And then I went on to finish 1 year. It's kind of my ultimate goal as I finished Leadville. So when Lee asked me to do this, my reason was, well, Lee has been there supporting me and all of my goals all of these years. This has kind of been in the back of my head. So why not? Why not give it a go?
Yeah, so here we go. We got our bikes sitting right here behind us. And we'll give you a walkthrough of the bikes and some of the gear that we have on our bikes and how we set them up. And yeah, this will be our initial video to kick everything off.
Yeah, and then kind of excited about our friend Ron Shushanik. He's done lots of bike touring. Lee and I did 2 bike packing
trips last summer. One was 3 days and one was 6 days. So the longest we've ever ridden a bike for is 6 days in a row.
But anyway, Ron has some experience and he has his own YouTube channel. So we'll link it here. But he's kind of funny, entertaining guy, and we're kind of happy he's going along because Lee and I don't consider ourselves the most entertaining, funny people. But we'll try to bring it a little bit here and there.
Right, and we certainly don't have any experience touring on a bicycle yet.
No,
being that 6 days is our longest trip.
Yep.
But yeah, I'm looking forward to it.
Yep. And then yeah, I think that's it for now.
All right. should we go over our bike setups?
Yeah, sounds good.
All right. All right, I'm just going to go over the bike. I'm going to ride on the Great Divide. Starting with the bike, this is a Kona Unit X, and I bought this at Sellwood Cycles in Sellwood. So a big shout out to them. They ordered the bike for me. And then when it showed up, a gentleman there, his name is Joel. He did an outstanding job getting it set up the way that I wanted and getting it ready for me. I went ahead and got the Jones bars and then put the silicone grips on there. And I feel like that's going to give me a comfortable platform to ride the Divide on. And I also have the Wolf Tooth. This is a toolkit that goes in the handlebars, and there's one in both sides, so that has everything I need to do the maintenance on my bike. I have a custom frame bag that I had made by Shaka Packs, and I've had 2 bags built by this guy, and he does an awesome job. And if you order it the right time of the year, you'll get it pretty quickly. If you order it at the wrong time of the year, it takes up to 6 weeks. But excellent pack. And moving to the front of the bike, I went with the Tailfin setup, and it comes with these shock mounts. And I have 3 shock mounts on both forks, and that allows me to put a water bottle and the Tailfin bag on each fork in the front. And then this bike comes with mounts for a lower water bottle, and I have 34-ounce water bottles, 3 of them, so that's over 3 liters of water just right here. And then the front bags, I'm going to have, mostly I'll carry my clothes in the 2 front bags. In this bag, it's a Revelate design. I actually have a lot of Revelate design stuff on this bike, but this is the oh, I forgot.
Sweet roll?
Yeah, the sweet roll. And inside the sweet roll, I have my REI self-inflating mattress. And most people don't bike pack with this mattress. It's rather heavy, weighing almost 3 pounds. But it's really comfortable, and I can sleep good on it, and it's only about, oh, not even an inch thick. So when your arms hang off the side, you know, it's not like 2.5 or 3 inches to the bottom of the tin. I just find that it's really comfortable. So I'll take the penalty. At the start of the route, maybe it's the wrong choice. I'll let you know at the end, but it's super comfortable. I love it. And then I have a Revelate design feed bag that hangs off the front here. And I'll be putting my food and definitely my snacks in this bag. I call that my snack bag, I suppose. And then I also have the Revelate design bag up here, and I'll also be keeping snacks and food in here. I have some salt tablets, electrolytes, and that just gives me a handy place to be able to access those things quickly. And then I have a mount right here, which I'll mount the Insta360, which we're using to record the videos on today. And it'll mount right here, and I'll be able to take videos on my bike as we ride along the route. My dad's retired, and I wanted to share a lot of this adventure with him. That kind of what motivated me to do most of this and posting it on YouTube. And then he'll be able to sit in his chair and watch what we're doing out there. And then our mother Linda, bless her heart, she's going to be posting and editing all the videos and posting them to YouTube for us. So I'm really appreciative of my mom volunteering to do that. So yeah, this is where the 360 is going to mount. I have a Garmin computer on an out front mount that I'll be using to for guidance. I also have my bear spray, and I just kind of tuck it right up here in the handlebar. We don't plan on riding much at night, but I'm going to bring a headlamp, and it's USB rechargeable. and that'll just sit on the handlebars for most of the route in case we ever get stuck out and we have to ride in the dark. These are Revelate feed bags, and in these I have another 1 liter water bottle in both of them, and then I like to mix up scratch, so I'll be mixing up scratch and having it in both of those bottles every day. I have a Spot satellite communication device here. This will be updating my position, and you can follow along our progress on trackleaders.com if anyone's interested. And then I have my trowel here for bathroom duties, and I keep my silverware up here because it's always handy, something that you need all the time, so I like to keep that right there in the handlebars. Moving back here, got this little gas tank, and in here I have my USB rechargeable headlight. I'll keep chapstick, sun lotion, maybe some off for mosquitoes when they get real bad. There's a lighter and a knife in here. I have the old man mountain rack as well, like Lesie, and mounted on the rack I have I bought it just, this is a waterproof backpack, and it's a little heavier duty. I figured I wanted something a little thicker. And inside here I have my tent, my sleeping bag, a tarp that we could set up if it rains and we want to get out of the rain. Could set up a tarp. I have a micro chair and my tent pegs and some micro rope. All that's in here. I also have some a warm layer of Under Armour tights and a wool shirt, and it's in here as well in case we get cold or we have some inclement weather. I need an extra layer. And then on both sides I have the Ortlieb waterproof panniers, and I'm going to keep my stove in here. Lesie and I will be sharing a stove to heat up water for our freeze-dried milk or noodles or whatever we decide to have for dinner that day. I have a first aid kit, and then mostly clothes. And on the other side, that one I just keep empty, and it's all going to be for doing resupplies and keeping food in. And then inside the frame pack, I'll keep my water filters right here, so it's handy. I'll keep some wet wipes. In this pocket, I'll have my probably my phone, things I need quick access to. And then there's another pocket on the other side that I have all my spare tools, and I have like a spare cable, spare batteries for the shifters. And that pretty much rounds out my bike. I do also have a dropper post. It's very handy. When we go down hills, I can drop the post and sit on my bag back here. Get a little, it's a little cushy. Feels quite nice after you've been in the seat for a long time. So yeah, that pretty much is my bike for the Great Divide mountain bike ride.
Kind of funny story, when Lee and I first started riding together, one of the first bikes I bought, well, it was a $200 bike off of Facebook Marketplace, but then I upgraded to a bright pink bike called Harriet because it's the Dirty Harry model, and I rode Harriet for a number of years, and then she retired and now lives with my daughter Hannah. But when I was looking for a bike to ride on this great adventure, the Great Divide mountain bike route, the Specialized Epic Hardtail was one of the ones I was looking at, and then it came out with this hot pink model, so I had to get it in tribute to Harriet. And I had so many fun years on Harriet, I plan to have a lot of fun years on this bike. So it is lightweight carbon frame, not really a bike packing bike, but as I know, I will be trying to keep up with my brother Lee. I want to try to get as light as possible. Also know that will be, over the long haul, a little kinder to my body overall. So up front, we'll just start here. I have Apidura little pack. This is gonna carry all of my electronic recharging devices and cords and wires. It flips over so that water does not get in there theoretically. Hopefully it won't. Here I have a Sea to Summit dry bag, and it has my tent. And then it will have like my rain gear and rain clothes, rain pants, rain jacket, a bunch of my cold weather gear is in there as well. I'll have a separate bag I can put the wet tent, if the tent is wet, in to keep it separate from my clothes that need to stay dry. I have two, what are these called, Lee?
Oh, the feed bags.
Feed bags. I have two feed bags here. One will either have food or water in it, depending on what part of the route we're on and how much water we need to pack. Over here, I have my bear spray. I actually carry this on most of my rides around here, mostly for dogs. I've never seen a bear. Oh, carrying the bear spray. I mean, I've seen a bear. And then I love Panda licorice.
Oh, snacks.
So, and they fit in there perfectly, so, and I can fit a lot of them in there, so I'll be carrying a lot of Panda licorice. I already ordered like 10 cartons of this, but I like it because it actually has, it's made with molasses instead of sugar. It's always been a really good fuel for me. And then I have the Revelate Gas Tank bag, and I'll be carrying snacks in here. Just discovered these Pop-Tart bites, and I actually really like fruit snacks when I'm riding. Some Lara bars, protein bars. You need lots of protein when you're out there riding every day. Another kind of protein bar. So lots of snacks in there, and the really nice thing about this bag is it has a little liner you can take out and wash, a little TPU liner, so when it gets sticky from all the snacks, you're able to clean that out. I have here the quad lock case for my phone, so it's like a really secure device so you can attach your phone. And I have my Garmin cycling computer over here. This will have the route loaded on it. I'm sure we'll get lost a few times or two till we figure things out, but hopefully not too often. Here's the Apidura. It's actually made, I think, to go up here the other direction, but it's very narrow, so when I ride, my legs don't catch it. And I'll have in here some chamois cream, glasses cleaner, sunscreen, chapstick. I have a tiny bit of exercise-induced asthma that maybe I get once or twice a year, so I just have an inhaler in there in case that comes up. Here is, oh, Lee gave me this case yesterday. I've been trying to find a case or a frame bag that fit this bike, but didn't really have time to get a custom one made, or I procrastinated so long I didn't have time. But Lee brought me this one yesterday, and actually is perfect. It fits in there, and then I'll be able to carry 4, maybe 4.5 liters of water in there, which will be really nice. So that'll be my main water supply. And it's really easy. You just unzip and refill. Got a dropper post put on there. I think I was one of the very first adopters of a dropper post when they first came out, and love them. Never want to ride without one. I have here my sleeping bag, my camp clothes, my sleeping clothes, all in here. Maybe an extra hat, some cold weather gear and gloves. And then I really just don't find any kind of air mattress on this planet very comfortable. I tried it in our first bikepacking trip last year and was miserable. I don't know why. It seems like I'm a side sleeper or stomach, and then you push in one area and it poofs up in another area. Just, I don't know. If anybody has any recommendations for an air mattress that doesn't do that, let me know. But so for our second trip, I got a foam pad, which I just put in this keep it dry and not so dusty. And then have the Garmin Varia here. Started using this last year. Really like it. It warns you on the computer up front when a car is approaching from behind. It also kind of has colors. You can see how many cars are approaching, and based on the color that it's indicating, you can see how fast they're traveling. And over the last year, I've gotten really used to, it'll tell me when a car is approaching, and then I can actually like clue in and kind of hear if they're slowing down or moving over or not. And so it's just allowed me to, although it doesn't happen very often, if a car is coming at a high speed and I don't sense that they're moving over, I can get over real quick, which is, it's really been nice. I almost got hit by a car once when I was road riding around Portland, and just have been, that really shook me up, so I've been pretty cautious ever since. That's why I like to stick to mostly gravel roads, although I know things can happen anywhere. In here I will have first aid kit, water purifiers, filters, all of my tools for fixing flat tires and other things. There's some rope down in there so that when we get into bear country, we can hang our food up in the trees. And then on this side will be most of my food. So hoping to keep some freeze-dried meals, the things I'm eating, up to 5 days, mostly over here. That way we can just remove this bag and hang it in the tree along with the food I have up front. So it kind of keeps it simple. That's pretty much it.
What kind of rack do you got back there that all that stuff's hanging on?
I have the Elkhorn from Old Man Mountain Racks, and it was bomb-proof last year. Love this rack. I'm not the most mechanical person on earth, but it was pretty easy for me to figure out and set up myself, which is nice. So love that rack. And I think I'm missing my flip-flops. I just gotta figure out where I'm putting my flip-flops, my camp shoes.
I see a lot of people just hanging them off the bag in the back.
That might be what happens there.
Oh, very nice.
Sounds good. So thank you for watching.